Well, this is going to be an experiment because for the last 2 days, my computer has just kept cutting off. So if I stay on here for any length of time tonight, it will be a miracle. So just keep fingers crossed for a miracle, because I did say on Facebook that I didn't think I'd be able to make it. So maybe I will for a few minutes. Maybe I won't at all. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see whether or not anybody can join me or not. So I did tell Nathan I probably wouldn't be able to. Hi, Nathan. I've got everything crossed that I actually can stay on for more than a minute. But don't hold your breath, because I've got a feeling I'm not going to stay. Esther, I've had 2 days of it where the computer will not stay on for more than 2 minutes. So I'm not doing good. I don't know what's wrong with it. I've tried changing the power supply. I've tried everything. If I stay on, it'll be a miracle. Yeah. Hi, Munchkin. Look. There you go. Wearing it. So if I disappear after a couple of minutes, you'll know where I've gone. Kaput. Gone. It's just been 7 times today. It's kicked me off 7 times. So I am not holding my breath that I will stay on for very long. It looks like I'm going to have to buy a new computer, I think, which isn't coming at a good time financially for me. Does anything ever come at a good time financially for us? You know, do we ever have pots of money? It is Saturday. I could win the lottery. So just all, well, the lottery's been actually drawn, I think, by now. So probably not. Yeah, but never mind, If I'd won enough just to buy me a new computer box, would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. Well, I had 2 lovely surprises this week. I met a lady who comes on here. She'd come down to Blackpool for a holiday. And so she's going to come on here, probably, Linda Nagel. So I met her on Tuesday. We had a good chit-chat and a good look round Cleveley's. And then I was coming out of the cafe on Thursday when a lady grabbed my arm, and I thought, well, I'm not used to it, but I do occasionally get people saying to me, "Are you Jan?" Yeah. So this lady said to me, "Are you Jan?" So I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "I'm Leslie, your cousin from Australia." How bizarre was that? I didn't even know she was in the UK. Hello. And she's put a photograph of us both on Facebook. But 5 minutes either way, I would have either still been in the cafe and she would have gone straight past and not seen me, or 5 minutes later and I would have been up the road on my scooter and not seen her. So that was 1 in a million, chance, wasn't it? Seeing her, yeah. Gosh. Not seen her for about 15 years or more even, yeah. She lives in Perth in Australia. I'm taking my painkillers just in case I stay on. Oh dear. Yeah, and all the gin jacks in all the world. She had to come past the cafe just as I was leaving. It was so. And then, on Wednesday we went to Southport and it was absolutely beautiful. The weather was so warm and so hot. And some lovely shops. I mean, a lot of the shops are closing down, as in a lot of towns these days. A lot of shops are closing down, but there's some lovely shops there in Southport if you ever get the chance to go. Really, good value shops. And I don't mean the charity shops, I mean the ordinary shops. I bought a scarf, winter. Bought a scarf and some gloves, very, very cheaply, yeah. I should have bought more because I could have used them for Christmas presents, couldn't I, really? But you think about it later, don't you? So I hope I can stay on for more than 2 minutes. Just keep your fingers crossed for me tonight. Because if I disappear, there probably isn't a cat in hell's chance of me getting back on again here. What am I doing? I'm making a dishcloth. My niece is moving, finally, next Friday, coming to move to Garstown. And she was saying that she actually likes hand crocheted dishcloths. So I have a ball of white here in cotton and a ball of like an ecru colour. So I'm just making her some dishcloths. I was going to try Tunisian, but I couldn't find my Tunisian hooks. Anyway, I found some, but they're not the ones I was looking for. So whether I'll try Tunisian, I don't know. But I'm just doing crochet at the moment. I started doing like a basket stitch, but it was really hurting my hands. My hands are sore. Really hurting my hands. And I've got no nail polish because I was in the shed. I think I've worn the nail polish off the end of my fingers. Needs reapplying. So I'm just doing a little shell pattern. I'm sure she won't bother. It's only to wash her dishes, isn't it? As I say, I was doing a basket pattern, but the front loop crochet and the back loop crochet was really hurting my hands. And I thought, not for the sake of a dishcloth. It's because the yarn is so stiff. I don't know where I got it from. It was in the shed. Craft cotton. It's really sturdy or whatever you want to call it. I don't know where it come from. There's no name on it at all. It just says ideal for dishcloths and crochet. It just says craft cotton 100 gram, but it doesn't say where it's come from or anything. So I can't tell you where I got it from. The other one is even more crunchy. Craft cotton for knitting, crochet and dishcloths. And this one's like an ecru colour. Now this one does say it's from V something and A Products Limited from Bradford. 100 grams. So this one does say where it's from. It's like an ecru colour, you can see. So, but they're very stiff. And I'm using a 4mm hook, which probably I could have done with using a bigger hook, actually. Because it's, crunching my fingers a bit. But we do these things, don't we? I've got to watch Paula. She puts her videos up quite late, doesn't she? I see Sheila's got, I think it's 2 or 3 up today. She's got an enormous haul been given to her by one of her subscribers. I'd like to see her do Olaf. Don't think she ever will. She's got these sweater kits, I think, that somebody's got, yeah. And one of them's Olaf, and the other one is a reindeer. And then she's got something else, and she won't do them, I know. I thought it was thundering before, but it went on and on and on and on and on, and I thought, no, I think it's fireworks somewhere. It was too kind of continuous for thunder. Nathan's been, flooded, haven't you, Nathan? Well, not actually flooded in his house, but where he lives has been flooded. Oh my God, have you seen the price of them, Chris? I'm not being funny. I know she's lovely and all that, but the heck of a price. Her kitty bags, they just sell before they even get online. I looked at one of her bags. I really like one of her patchwork bags. And as I was watching the video, I looked online and they'd all gone. But they were funny, they were £45 or something. I mean, they're probably worth it and they are well made and they're beautiful, but it's kind of a bit out of my price range, You have to cut your cloth according to your means, don't you? No matter how much you love something. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it, can you? So you have to look elsewhere. There were some gorgeous boots in Southport, pavers, beautiful boots, but they were £69, and I thought, yeah, I would have to save up for that, yeah. No, I think they're some of them, I don't know how much all of the bags are, but some of them are £45, yeah. I mean, they are lovely and they're beautiful, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, our dog does the same thing, Munchkin, if we don't stop her. Very gross, isn't it? But I suppose not to a dog, yeah. Yeah, I mean, her bags are beautiful. They're gorgeous, and she does put a lot of effort into them. But, you know, you're on a budget like me. Oh, I've got a red nose now. I look like Rudolph. If you're on a budget, like I have got 2 or 3 beautiful, you know, project bags that I don't really use, that I bought, not as much money as that. I bought from a lady on Etsy years ago, yeah. Yeah, I mean, all power to anybody who makes things. I've no grumble. After all, I do try and make things to sell, so I've no grumbles with anybody, you know, who makes things, because, you know, it is time and effort, and the material she uses isn't rubbish, is it? It's good material. Fabric, I should say. We call it material or stuff. But as you say, I'll just make do with the ones I've got. Yeah, I've got about 3 or 4. All very pretty ones, so I'll use those. I'm not one with lots of projects. I think we've mentioned this before, so I don't have like project bags all lined up in a row, you know. I'm very cheap. I tend to use a bag of some description, yeah. I've got one project bag here that I use more or less all the time. I can't remember where I got it from, but it's a lovely big one. But it's only flimsy, it's not stiff, it's fully lined. But I can't remember where I got that from. It's got the sheep on it and everything. But I use this more than anything because my projects are usually quite big. Um, so, you know, a little knitty sock bag's not much use to me, you know what I mean? I need a bag I can stuff a sweater into, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not much of a sewer, but I'm sure I could make some kind of bags. Whose bags we're talking about? Paula, you know, Stitched by Mrs. D. I mean, they are lovely bags, Nathan. They are beautiful, but I just don't have that kind of money. But to be quite honest, I don't need one. You know, let's put the cards on the table. I don't need one. Yeah. Hi, Dottie. I see Tracy's come back or coming back from America with a load of American wool. Yeah. Yeah. It is. I mean, it is lovely. I'm not knocking her at all. I don't want you to think I'm knocking her. I'm not. They are beautiful. But it's just, you know, on my budget, they're just a bit, you know. All right, Dottie, yeah. Mind you, when they go, I mean, I was watching somebody who'd been to that Southern Wool show, and, you know, the prices of some of the things there, I thought, oh boy, am I out of touch. You know, what I call the notions, you know, the little stitch markers and things like that. I'm going, how much? You know, I'm well out of touch. Yeah. Hi, Ethan. Hi, Nerdy. The thing is, you see, everything else is moved on a pace. But if you're on the benefits, then your benefits are not catching up with a pace, if you know what I mean. You know, I suppose if you're working and you've got a kind of pay rises and stuff, yeah. Nerdy's found a crochet hooks that she thought was missing. It just shows it pays to go through all your bags and your project bags, Nerdy. She thought she'd lost them, and she found them in one of her old bags, yeah. Who am I talking about now? I'm talking about hi Linda. Your phone's playing up, my PC's playing up. Just make the most of me while I'm here. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Paula, who making the bags. I'm talking about a lady on YouTube who went to the Southern Stitching wool shop thing. And then I'm talking about Nerdy Stitcher finding her crochet hooks that she thought she'd lost. Are you catching up now? Are you with us, Nathan? Keep up. Keep up, keep up. If you keep drifting off, Nathan, you're going to miss half of it, yeah? No, my computer is playing up. It's been cutting off. It's cut off 7 times already today. So just make the most of me while I'm here, because I may not be here for very long, yeah? I'm sure now that I do actually need a new PC, which is probably a good idea why I didn't buy any project bags and I didn't buy that pair of boots, if I'm going to have to find money for a new computer. Hi, Lisa. And sadly, because I haven't made any videos in quite a while, I'm not even in the running to get any kind of money out of YouTube. I don't get much, as you know. I get pennies here and there. But because I haven't made any videos, I haven't got any money accrued, so there's nothing in the kitty. So I definitely won't get a payout from YouTube for a long time. Not that I ever get the hundreds, but, you know, a little bit's nice, isn't it? Yeah. I'll be sitting outside the co-op with my hat in a bit, you know. Penny for the guy, penny for the guy. Janet needs a new PC, penny for the guy. Oh, dear. Yeah, I texted my niece today. She's been packed up for so long, but now she's actually going next Friday. It's kind of like a bit of a... And why you're asking why I'm not putting the flowers on, I daren't risk them, because they're on the same plug socket as this PC. So, no, don't ask. Hiya, Helen. How am I today? Fraught. Because my PC's not working properly, so I'm fraught and I'm fragile. And I was doing some work in the shed yesterday and I killed me back. So, you know, I should do an hour and stop. But no, when I'm on a roll, I keep going and I keep going, like an idiot that I am. And then when I finally come out of the shed, I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? I'm just hurting all over. That's my trouble. I think I can do far more than I can. Oh yeah, it was your birthday, wasn't it, Linda? Happy birthday, Linda. Yeah, I met Linda in Cleveland. We had coffee and I had what did I have? Toasty sandwich, I think I had, a bacon butty or something. Yeah. It's been a very full week for me. It's the first time I've picked up a hook all week. Because I was out Monday. Oh no, I did pick up a hook on Monday because I went to knit club. Tuesday, I met Linda, so I didn't do anything on Tuesday. Wednesday, I went to Southport, so I was out all day Southport. Thursday, I went to the cafe, met up with my cousin. And yesterday, I was in the shed, so you strained your thumb. I won't ask you what you've been doing. It's too many raising at the pints. So that's why I was swallowing pills when I first started off today, because my back has, I killed it. I'm stupid, you know. When you feel the twinges, you should stop, shouldn't you? But no, you know, clever clocks here. I'll just do a bit more, I'll just do a bit more. And then you go, ah, when you have to stop. But by then it's too late. Yeah. So you're there with a heat pad. Chris knows where I'm going from. You're there with the heat pads, aren't you? Going, oh dear. Plus, I was on my little folding scooter on Wednesday in Southport, and it was like, you know, yeah. You've got builders in the kitchen and the garden, replacing all water. But oh dear. I don't envy you doing the mopping afterwards. I mean, as nice and tidy as builders are, you know, they do leave a bit of a mess behind, don't they? I did try to ring Sue today, but she mustn't have been in. I didn't get a reply. It just went to voicemail. I'll maybe try again tomorrow. So I did try to ring Sue. I did try and get her. You might notice there's no doggies. They've gone to Scotland. They're back tomorrow. You've been cleaning up today. No, but you need heat pads even when it's hot, because it's just like you're holding the phone the wrong way up. That's right, Linda, blame me for everything. You know, I'm not having a good day, so you might as well blame me for your phone going dicky. I will take the rap. I'm not bothered. I've got a sore hand, and it's not through crocheting, because I haven't been crocheting. My nail polish is fallen off. We're doing work in the shed. I haven't replaced it. Ugh. And I don't like that gel polish because it takes forever to try and get it off again. Right, how big of a dishcloth does it have to be? A bit bigger than that, doesn't it? A bit bigger. Then maybe I might try Tunisian. Not Tunisian, like they say in America, Tunisian. Because it's Tunisia, not Tunisia. What are we doing? Tidying up. It's like a never. You know, one of those like the Forth Bridge where you start painting at one end and you never get to the other end. Well, that's what it's like in my shed. I start tidying up on one shelf and then it like escalates into another bit and then it goes into another bit and then I finish up doing too much and then I finish up hurting my back. Yeah, you know what I mean. So I've not been doing anything really constructive. It's just like swapping things about, really. And at the end of it, I can't see any difference. I know I've done it, but you can't see any difference. And you're thinking, I've just spent 3 hours in here. And it doesn't look any different than it did when I started. You know, one day, what do they say? One day my prince will come. Mine's got lost. Mine took a wrong turn in my prince. He was on his horse and he kept on galloping when he got to me. Just kept on going. I did get a compliment in Southport, but he was rather drunk. That's the kind of compliments I get, you know. Somebody says, "Oh, you look lovely today," you know, before they fall over, yeah. You've given up on a prince. I gave up on one long ago. What they say, you got to kiss a lot of frogs before you meet the handsome prince. I've just cornered the market in Frogsby. Someday your prince will come. Oh, do you remember that? We used to wait and wait, didn't we, for our photographs to come back from the chemist and then when they come back, they're either blurry or there's a sticker on saying we couldn't print this one because it wasn't in focus or something, and it's the one you wanted, you know. You got such high hopes when you take these photos, or you forget to wind the camera on and you get like two prints and superimpose one on top of the other. At least these days you don't do that, do you? Still, it used to be exciting though. You came back from your holidays though, and you used to have to wait for your photos, didn't you? Or you had to pay extra to get them back in the next day, didn't you? Or something like that. Or you sent them away and then they sent you somebody else's photos back. And you don't know where yours went. You get somebody else's christening photos back instead of your own holiday photos, don't you? And you're then there like on the phone saying, these aren't mine. Somebody's obviously missing this wedding or this christening or this whatever. I went all the way to Southport and didn't take one photograph. Not one. And I forgot to take a photograph. Pronto Prince or something, one of them was called, wasn't it? And I forgot to take a photograph of me and Linda, and she didn't take one either, did you, Linda? We're useless, aren't we, the pair of us? We did say we were going to take a selfie, and then it just passed by. We did go in the naked sheep, though. We did. I didn't buy anything because I'm trying not to buy. And I think Linda bought some buttons. Oh, hello. Who's beeping me? Who's beeping me? Oh, it's Linda. She's watching, but she can't comment. Haha. Talk about you now, Linda. Oh, dear. Oh, stitched by Mrs. D. Yeah, it's a picture of Ian. A cat. Oh, Llama Mama Kayla's got a video up. Stitched by Mrs. D. Sean's got a photo. Dotty Dolly says, watching replay, waiting for Saturday. Waiting for Saturday Live. Well, there you go. Yeah, Ian rings the bell. Dong. No, it's not quite big enough for a dishcloth. I think it should have been wider. I'll put an edging round it. You got plaster. What, have you broke your wrist or something? I know you probably told me, Helen, but I've got a brain like a goldfish. I know I was struggling when I had the carpal tunnel. I mean, I only had a bandage on. I didn't have a plaster, but I was really handicapped, do you remember? But I could knit, if you remember, but I couldn't crochet for some reason or another. And now my little finger's giving me jip when I knit. You know, that one that keeps going trigger. Oh, you're back, Linda. Right. We can stop talking about Linda now she's back, yeah. I'm just saying we never took a selfie, did we? We said we were going to, and we didn't. It's like we don't exist, isn't it? Never mind. She's coming back in November. Might be a bit cold to sit outside in the cafe in November, won't it? Touching wood, I've not broke a wrist. I broke toes, I broke fingers, but not a wrist. I'd be terrible if I couldn't knit or crochet. I was bad enough when I was bad when I had my cataracts done and I couldn't see anything for a couple of days. And then when I had my carpal tunnel done and I couldn't do anything for a couple. I'm like a bear with a sore head when I can't do anything. Me. I cannot sit still. I've got to do something. And if I read for too long, I get a headache and then I fall asleep. I did that just before I came on here. So wonder you got me at all. A, I've got computer troubles, and B, I fell asleep. It was so quiet, you know, because the dogs are not here, that I just fell asleep. It's always a worry when you're older, you know, and your bones are not like they should be. Always a worry about falling over. I've had a few bad falls in the last few years, and you're thinking, oh, God, yeah. Oh, they would have done, Linda, they would have done. We could have stood outside the window, couldn't we, saying, here we are, the naked sheep. Oh. I was asked if I will make a video, but I said I can't at the minute. My camera's dicky and so's my blinking computer. A friend of mine wanted some of my cotton, which I sorted out for her out the shed. And I can't take, well, I can take the photographs if I can charge my camera up, but then I can't upload them to the computer because it keeps dying on me. Oh, talk about a fraud this week. I bought a new power lead thing, thinking it was that was wrong with my computer, but it was even worse. So I've had to put the old one back on again, yeah. Hi, Sophie. Is that square? It is now if I start putting an edging round it, isn't it? I'm getting fed up with this now. It's hurting my fingers, yeah. Oh, you went back on Thursday? I'm trying not to buy anything. I'm trying to use up. If you could see how much I've got in my shed, it's disgusting. Naked sheep is what banging not round here, are you, Helen? If ever you're in Cleveland, the naked sheep is nice. And she's not that pricey considering she's bricks and mortar. I mean, obviously, bricks and mortar has to be more expensive than online because they've got council taxes and staff wages and everything. I mean, I know because I had a bricks and mortar. But she's quite reasonable and she does offers on, you know, so many balls for such a price. I mean, she does high end, but she also does the budget as well, yeah. Yeah, I was asked if I'll do a video there one day, which I will do when I get my blinking camera sorted out. You know, when that lottery win comes and I'm rolling in it, ha ha ha. You know, seeing as I can't rely on Keir Starmer to give me anything. All he's doing is taking it away. I think she does have internet, yeah. I think she does. I can't swear to that, Helen, but I think she does, yeah. There can't be many shops called the Naked Sheep, can there, if you look her up, yeah. I can't see why she wouldn't, because she's not that far away from the post office. I mean, maybe my wool shop would have survived, maybe, if there'd been such a thing as internet shopping when I had my shop, but there wasn't, you know. Believe it or not, there was no eBay when I had my shop. That just shows how old I am. You know, there was no such thing as having a web page and that. Maybe I might have been able to survive if I could have sold online, but people didn't back then. You either bought it at your local wool shop or you didn't. Well, a lot of them didn't because it was like a kind of slump. And I mean, there was no such thing as selling hand-dyed yarn. And I had cashmere in my shop and nobody wanted it. Nobody would pay. Yeah, she's closing down. I've not been in Mrs. Johnson's Emporium. That's in Blackpool, by the way, in case you're wondering. But she is closing down, yeah. I've never been because it's a bit out of my way and I've never found anybody who could take me, you know. So by the time I could get there, I used to love Lolly's Little Wool Shack. She was in Blackpool somewhere. And when I came to move here, I thought, oh, I'll go and see her. But of course, it was COVID and one thing and another. And then she lost her partner. I don't know whether it was a business partner or whether it was a partner in life. I don't know. But she lost her partner, so she decided to shut it. I used to get some beautiful bargains from Lolly's Little Wool Shop. Denise did as well, if you remember Denise Deer. She used to buy from her as well. In fact, that brightly coloured shawl I'd put on my Facebook from my memories, I still got it actually. That was from her, you know, those big cakes, bright colours that she had. See if I can find it. If I can find it. Probably can't, it's probably way down. Oh, that's me and my cousin. I met her outside of there. She is. She's from Australia. If you're wondering what I'm sat in with that funny thing, it's my buggy, my scooter. Do, 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 do. It's full of I8's kiss, Tom. That was the wool I bought from Lolly's Little Wool Shack. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful colours. I think I've still got some of that. I won't part with that. Somebody asked me would I sell it. I went, no. Certain things I won't sell. I won't sell my ice yarn, most of it anyway, because I can't get it anymore. Well, I can, but it's too dear. And I won't sell me Lolly's wool. Now, the only time I was ever disappointed with some wool from Lolly's was when I bought one of her mystery boxes, and it wasn't very nice, yeah. I think she shoved all her old stuff she couldn't get rid of in it. Oh, Starmer, I can't stand him. What he's done. Ah, there you are. Helen, she does do mail order from the Naked Sheep. Linda's bought some. So you're all right. You can have a look online. Like I say, I'm trying not to buy anything. I'm trying to use up rather than buy. I did get tempted by a couple of balls when I went into the market in Fleetwood. If I hadn't gone in, you see, I wouldn't have seen it, would I? But no, I had to go in. My friend wanted to go and get some books and stuff. So we went in, and I'd only gone to get some safety eyes for my chickens, because I only had little buttons for the chickens, yeah. Chick, chick, chick. I'm supposed to be making 2 more for my friend. And I keep saying, yeah, I'll do it, yeah, I'll do it. I haven't. Well, they don't take long. It's not as if it's going to take me forever, is it? To do them. That's the purpley one with its little beak. Yeah, she wants, not for kiddies, because they're not for kids. She wanted them for a friend who keeps chickens. And I keep forgetting. Well, I don't keep forgetting. I keep putting off doing them. Yeah, I'm a bit like that, Sophie, yeah. I've had to stop looking at ice yarns because I can't afford the postage and the tax and the blinking import duties and God knows what else. But I've had to start ignoring their emails now, and I do with Wool Warehouse and that. I've had to start ignoring them. Not looking, just not looking. It's funny though, no matter how much yarn you've got in your stash or store or whatever you want to call it, you always find something nice, don't you, that you've not seen before. And you're like, ooh, I would make a lovely so-and-so such a thing, wouldn't it, you know? I was watching, you know, Tracy from Crochet Rock. She's been in America. And she was looking in these various stalls. I can't remember which store she went into, Michael's or whatever. But what amazed me was like how few balls are on a shelf. You know, like if it's Red Heart or something, there's 2 balls. And I'm thinking, does nobody make a sweater out of anything? You know, is there never any bigger amounts anywhere? Or do you have to ask and they go in the back? Thank you, excuse me, thank you. Yeah, I'm afraid I was a bit disappointed with the mystery boxes that she'd done at Lolly's Little Wool Shack. I felt like she'd unloaded some of her stuff she couldn't sell on me, you know what I mean? They weren't good, weren't a good bargain. In fact, I think I gave it all away. I knew I wouldn't use it, so I gave it away. Janet, what are you doing? I'm making a corner where there isn't a corner. It does help, you know, if you wait till you get to the corner to make a corner. Yeah, I've only got 17 thumbs up. Somebody's not doing the thumbs. Oh, help a girl out. Oh, thank you. Somebody's done another one, yeah. Help a girl out. Derek's not made a video for a long, long time, has he? You know, Sheila's friend Derek. Who's slacking? Yeah, people are slacking with the thumbs up. They're just not giving a girl a break, are they? You know what I mean? Here I am battling through wind, storm, hail, computer troubles, backache to come on, and you don't give me a thumbs up. Gonna cry. That'll probably be my thumbnail down. Somebody at YouTube really hates me. They always pick the worst gurning photograph they can find to put for my thumbnail. I'm glad you do that, Dottie. Nobody else seems to do that. Do you know, I always thumbs up everybody's videos unless I really, really hate them. But whenever I start watching anybody, you know, the first thing I do is do a thumbs up. Always do it like for Sheila and Paula and everybody, yeah. Nathan's had thunder and lightning and he's had floods. Well, not in his flat, but I mean, he's had floods nearby. I've never been on that heritage tram. I've seen it, but I've not been on it, yeah. Where did it go? Just up and down the prom, looking at the lights, yeah. They have lights like, well, they call them the illuminations. We're from Blackpool over here, and they used to be fantastic. I mean, they've gone off a bit now. Like everything, it's money, isn't it? When I was a kid, they used to be absolutely fabulous. Moving lights, you know, depicting like Mickey Mouse and things like that. But now, I mean, they're nice, but they're not anything like they used to be. And you used to get on at Blackpool. Blackpool has a long, straight promenade. And you used to get on the tram and it used to go slowly, slowly past all these lights. When I was a kid, it used to be amazing, you know. But the last time I saw the lights, actually, I was coming back from having my cataract operation, surprisingly enough. And it was so bright, and I'm like, oh God, I can't deal with it, because it was like halos around everything, because I'd just had my cataract done. And that's the last time I saw the lights. I was like that, looking at the lights, yeah. But they don't look a fraction of what they used to be. Sad, isn't it? It's like everything, isn't it? Money, money. I mean, they do have little collection boxes, you know, as you go, you know, along to put money in to help pay for these lights and that. Yeah, well, I used to go in the 60s when I used to go. I remember taking my son, oh, he would only be tiny, and he wanted to see the lights, And little so he fell asleep and missed them all. And then when he woke up, we were halfway home, and he goes, are we going to go and see the lights now? He slept. We trying to wake him up, but he was out for the count. We couldn't wake him up. Yes, sadly. I mean, Blackpool isn't a patch on what it used to be. It's sad, but then it's the same. I'm not just knocking Blackpool. It's the same everywhere, isn't it? All these beautiful towns. I don't know whether it's money or what it is. I mean, they say like places like Brighton and that are just not like what they used to be. And I mean, Rill, when I was a kid, Rill used to be beautiful. But it's really sad and depressing now. It's such a shame that they get, you know, they just don't invest any money in them. I don't know whether they don't have any money or they just don't invest it. But like Fleetwood lost its fishing trade. And because it lost its fishing trade, they stopped dredging. And because they stopped dredging, the ferry no longer runs from here going to the Isle of Man and Ireland. I can remember when I was a kid, we used to catch the ferry from Fleetwood and go across to the Isle of Man or go across, you know, to Ireland. But now you've got to go over to Heysham, which is near Morecambe. And there's no fishing boats at all now. Well, there's tiny ones, but the big trawlers don't come in anymore to Fleetwood. Well, they wouldn't get in. It's, you know, it's all silted up. It would have to be dredged to get them in. So because of that, like the town's gone downhill, really. It's not like it used to be. But it's not just here. It's the same in a lot of places, isn't it? If they don't invest money. There we go. Look, it was a gift from, hang on. It was a gift from Munchkin, who's on here. She sent it to me. There you go. Glitter, glitter, glitter. Glitter, glitter, glitter. I put it on specially. So, yeah. I don't know whether it's the same in America, that places are just no money being invested in places. Hi, Margie. Yeah, I got it sent to me by Munchkin, sent it to me. Yay! It's always nice when you get a little prezi, isn't it? Yeah. Little prezi. I'm just doing a border around it now, around my dishcloth. Well, you have to do something, don't you? I know it's only a dishcloth, but I want it to look nice. Yeah, it is very blingy. It suit one of your sons, this, wouldn't it? One of Nathan's sons likes anything glittery, doesn't he? Where am I from? I'm originally from Manchester. Well, from Royton. No, it's my niece is specially requested. She wants crochet dishcloth. She's moving in a new house on Friday. So special request is she wants some crochet dishcloths. So I found a bit of craft cotton in my shed. See, it is useful going in your shed sometimes. You find things you've forgotten about. So, yeah, I love crochet dishcloths and that. I used to have them all the time. But my daughter-in-law, no. She likes them sponge things, you know. The sponge on one side and a bit of a scrubby thing on the other. I like these because if they're white cotton, you can stick them in the hot wash or you can stick them in a bleachy water. Get them nice and clean. You like the bling, yeah. Yeah, there it is. Look, blingy, 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 blingy. What pattern am I doing them? I'm just doing like a shell stitch. There isn't a pattern. It's just, I started off doing like a basket stitch, you know, front post, back post. But it was hurting, my hands have been hurting. And, you know, I've got arthritis in my fingers and that. Oh, you'd have loved Southport then, Dottie. There was a shop in Southport on the window. All the clothes were leopard print. I've got a pair of leopard print boots. Leopard print boots. Put them on for you one day and show you. And I've got a black top with a leopard print tie thing, but it's short sleeves. I haven't had a chance to wear it this year. It's been that flipping cold. Yeah, there was a shop window in Southport that was all leopard print. All the clothes in it. When I had a knitting machine, I used to have a punch card that was leopard print or animal print, whatever. And I made them black and white ones. I made yellow and, well, golden brown. I made red and black. And I made them for my two nieces as well when they were little. But sadly, I don't have the machine anymore. Got to love a bit of Bet Lynch, don't we? Bit of leopard print. All I've got, I used to have a pair of flimsy trousers in leopard print, but I don't think I've got them anymore. But I've got the boots. I've still got the boots. But I can't wear them to walk in because they've got only a tiny bit of a heel, but they've got a little heel. I could wear them on my scooter. But anything with the tiniest of heels just wrecks me back these days. I've got a beautiful pair of knee boots that I won't get rid of. But it's only a Cuban heel. It's about maybe 2 inches high. Oh, it hurts my back when I wear them though. But they're lovely boots and I won't get rid of them, yeah. Yeah, Bet Lynch, yeah. She wore a lot of leopard print. She's not good, is she? She's got dementia now. She must be getting on a bit though. She's older than me. It's a shame with this dementia. Everybody's getting it out. I'm sure it's the additives we keep eating. It's something in it. Something in the water we're eating or drinking or something. You never used to, I mean, I know you used to hear people going a bit gaga when I was a kid, you know, oh, she's a bit of it. But, you know, so many people have got it now. I keep saying I hope I don't get it, but like I wouldn't know, would I? I blame the vegan. Yeah, we blame the vegans for everything, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I hope I don't get it, but somebody said, well, you wouldn't know if you did because you'd be the last one to know, wouldn't you? My ex-next door neighbour, he phoned me the other week. He keeps in touch, you know, because we moved. But his mum doesn't even know him now. You know, it's such a shame, isn't it? My dad always knew me when he had his dementia, you know. But he couldn't remember what you'd said to him 5 minutes before or anything like that, you know. Or he used to keep saying he hadn't had his dinner or his tea, and yet it was all down his chin, you know. And he used to say, your mum's not been to see me today. And I said, she has, Dad. I brought her this morning. No, she never came. I haven't seen her for weeks, he used to say. And she used to go every single day, my mum. I know, because she was in a wheelchair and I used to have to shut the shop to take her. And yet he'd still, I used to call at night time on my way home, like, to see him. And he used to be convinced, she'd not, your mum's not been. Don't know where she is, but she's not been to see me. I said, she has, Dad. She came this morning. Or he'd say, they don't feed me in here. They don't give me anything to eat. And like I say, it was all down his chin and everywhere and down his shirt. It's sad. The only blessing was he kept saying, am I in hospital? Because he was in a nursing home, because we just couldn't cope, And he said, when am I going home? And I used to say, I think probably maybe tomorrow or maybe next week. And of course, he used to forget what I'd said. So he never really knew kind of how long he'd been in there, which was fortunate, really, in a way. Because I wouldn't have liked him to have thought we just parked him in there, because we didn't. It was a great deal of deliberation before we put him in there. But my mum just could not cope, and I was working full time. And so was my brother, so there was nobody that could have helped my mum. And home help, he wouldn't have anybody helping him. He wouldn't have strangers in the house, So my mum got no help at all with him, yeah. Like I said, she was in a wheelchair, so she couldn't really do anything for him. It was a sad part of our life, that you don't want to put your relatives in a home, but we just had no other choice, I mean, lots of people used to visit him, but of course he didn't know. My brother used to say, I can't talk to you, my dad. I just don't know what to say to him. I said, look, you just take him back to his army days. And he used to say, do you remember when that happened, Dad? And then off he'd go, telling me this story, yeah. And it was the same stories over and over and over again, but at least he was happy when he was talking to me then, It was better than him just sitting there like that, not doing anything. My brother couldn't relate, I don't know. He just didn't know what to say to him. But I was always a daddy's girl. He was always my daddy. And every time I went, he used to say, fetch me wallet, it's in my coat pocket, get me wallet and take a £5 out. Get yourself something lovely. So I used to reckon to get this wallet, and I used to say, right, I've took one out, Dad. There was nothing in his wallet. He said, right, thank you very much. Yeah, I'll get myself something lovely, yeah. His girlfriend might have stolen his motorbike. How do you know? No, my dad didn't. My dad's stories were all, from the war. They were all feasible. And I'd heard them all before because he used to talk to me. He didn't tell me gory things from the war. He only ever told me the nice bits when I was a little girl, So because he used to talk to me all the time, I had all the stories, which my brother didn't, you see. So I could get him to talk to me, yeah. My dad was funny. He really was a funny man. I don't mean funny peculiar. I mean, he was unconscious. He had a brilliant humour, He could, I don't say he could have been on the stage. He couldn't have been. But, he used to come back, with a quip. He was always very quick with an answer, very, very funny man. And everybody loved him in the shop. He was very, very popular, yeah. At least it could have been worse. People have horrible fathers and mothers, don't they? My childhood was really good, yeah. We had no money. I mean, we didn't have a wool shop until much, much later on. When I was growing up, we had no money, but neither did anybody else. So I wasn't like a little poor girl plonked in the middle of all these rich people, you know. My street was all in the same boat, yeah. I mean, northern cotton towns were like that. There was never any money about, yeah. But that was it, you know. Whatever we had, we shared. You know, if somebody had a bike, we all used to take turns on it. Today's kids are very peevish, I think, you know. African violets. My mum loved African violets, funnily enough, yeah. My mum was always a crafty lady. My mum always knitted. She never crocheted, but she knitted. And she used to have great big industrial knitting machines when I was a kid. I used to fall asleep to the whirring of these big, I mean, they're industrial machines, they weren't little ones. And, you know, I'd be falling asleep to this machine going zzz, 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 zzz. So I was brought up. And she always wanted a wool shop because her sister had one in Wales. And we lived in Wales for a very short time. I don't know why we went actually, but we went to Wales. And we stayed there 12 months. And my mum used to work in my auntie's wool shop. So when we came back, you know, it was even more of an ambition of hers to get a wool shop, yeah. So that's how come we got one, yeah. I mean, you know, you think about it, my mum must have been a whiz at saving up enough money. Mind you, oh gosh, I mean, you should have seen the state of the shop when we moved in there. It had never been lived in for years. The windows were broken and it was horrible. It didn't even have a bathroom. I mean, we'd got a bathroom and, you know, going back to an outside toilet again. It was terrible to me. I hated it. You know, I thought we took a backward step because, like, opening up the shop, like, we'd even less money than we'd had before. But eventually it took off a bit. And by the time I was a teenager, the shop was doing quite well. But then we hit the slump in the 90s and nobody was buying anything. Ooh, gladioli, you little, what is it? Dame Edna. They're gladioli. That's the way I always remember with gladiolas. It's Edna Everage, yeah, Dame Edna. My mum always knitted. My aunts were more crafters. They used to embroider and crochet, and one of them was a sewer. Well, she was a tailoress, actually. I'm calling her a sewer is a bit mean. She was a tailoress. She could have worked for a big fashion houses, but she had epilepsy, so it held her back, really. She had to work from home because of her unpredictability, if you know what I mean. Because the drugs for epilepsy weren't the same, yeah, as they are now, yeah. My dad's sisters I was brought up with. My mum. My mum's sister was the one with the wool shop in Wales, yeah. She had three, actually. Abigail, I think there was, Landudno, Rose, Rill. Yeah, she had a few. But my dad's sisters were the ones who kind of helped bring me up. My mum used to go out to work on the housewife shift, 6 till 10. And my dad didn't used to come in from the butcher's until about 7. So there was kind of like an overlappy bit. And obviously they wouldn't leave me on my own or with my brother. I mean, my brother was 9 years older than me, so he could look after himself. But I used to have to go up, well, we used to call it up the flags. That means up the sidewalk to you in America, up the pavement. It was a row of terraced houses, and we lived there, like, and my grandma lived there with my two aunties. So I used to go there every evening, and they didn't. Yeah, flagstones, yeah, up the flags, yeah. So I used to go there every evening until my dad came home from work to collect me and put me to bed. And they didn't have a TV. They used to sew, knit, crochet, do whatever. And so I was just expected to do it. It was kind of like an inheritance, you know. So I got needles shoved in my hand, and I mean, I must admit, I never learned to crochet. My auntie was a beautiful crocheter. She used to do the doilies, you know, and the gorgeous little crochet gloves, you know, that she used to wear to church, because she was like, well, you'd call her a spinster. She was what we used to call a maiden aunt. In other words, she'd never married. And she was very prim and proper. Used to always go to church with her hat on, her handbag, and these little gloves. But she'd no patience. I mean, she was the tailoress as well, but she'd no patience. She'd let me sew on her sewing machine. I mean, letting a 5-year-old loose on a sewing machine, you know. It was a treadle, by the way. It wasn't an electric. Yeah, she taught me how to sew clothes for my dollies. She used to let me have all the scrappy bits, you know, because she used to do alterations, take things in. You know, don't forget, it was after the war when there was no fabric. It was all on ration and things like that. So you couldn't just go out and buy the, you know, material that you wanted, fabric that you wanted. So you used to make do, and, you know, with somebody else's old clothes that nobody wanted, you'd make a dress out of them. And my mum used to go to jumble sales and get dresses. I was always dressed in very inappropriate fabric. I'd be wearing like ladies' dress material with big cabbage roses all over them, you know, which isn't the thing for a 5-year-old, is it? But hey ho, it was a dress. My auntie would put a bit of, you know what rick-rack is? Rick-rack trimming. A bit of rick-rack, a bit of trimming, a bit of lace on it. She'd make it look a bit girly. And I always used to want what they call Miss Muffet print, or Miss Muppet print, it was called. Muffet, I think. And it was print for little girls with tiny little dogs and cats and things. Very, very pretty, but very little girly. But of course, I did actually get a dress one time. My mum actually splashed out and bought some of this fabric. But like you say, everything was on a ration. You just couldn't, unless you had the money to buy black market, everything was on a ration. So you had to make do with what you had, yeah. I think this is where my love of pre-loved clothes comes from. Because, you know, I just, very rare, like, obviously I buy underwear and shoes and things new. But I just object to paying like £70 for a dress or something, when I can get something in a charity shop for maybe £10 or £12. I'm just very frugal that way. That's why I've got a lot of clothes, really, because I don't buy one decent thing. I buy loads of little things. You know, some people have what they call a capsule wardrobe, don't they? And they buy a decent skirt and decent tops, but then I'd get so bored, you know, wearing the same pair of trousers or the same skirt. I'd get so fed up with it, me. I get up in the morning and look in the wardrobe and decide what I feel like wearing that day. Do I feel like being frivolous and wearing something bright and colourful? Or do I feel like black and white today? Yeah. I'm just a creature of impulse. I mean, when I worked, I had to, well, not when I was in the shop, I could wear what I wanted in the shop, but when I started working for the job centre, it used to kill me because I had to wear really frumpy clothes, you know, suits and stuff, and blouses that buttoned up at the neck, and oh God. The first thing I did when I retired was got rid of them all. Thought, I am never wearing these ever again. They're going. So I gave them all to a homeless woman's shelter. Don't know what they made about them, but And I'm sure they probably would have rather had a pair of tracksuit bottoms and a t-shirt, but I don't wear them. I don't own a pair of jeans. I think I've said that to you before. And I certainly don't own a pair of jogging bottoms. Well, I did when I went to the gym when I was younger. But I certainly don't walk about wearing jogging bottoms. Well, that's what they said when I said, did they want these business suits and high heels, and formal stiletto things. They said, oh, yes, we do, because we've got to send our girls out to go for interviews for jobs and they don't have any decent clothes, Because usually when they leave their husbands, when they're, violence and that, they just come with the clothes they stand up in. They don't have time, to even pack a case or anything. Half the time. And if they come from an abusive home, they never had any clothes to start off with. So, yeah, I gave them all my formal clothing, all went. Yeah. Yeah, it was so funny that Linda and I both turned up wearing a Hexie cardigan. Pixie and Dixie, we were like. Mine was bold colours, of course, but Linda likes pastels, so Linda's was pastel colours. Yeah. We were twinsies. Well, not quite, were we? But oh dear. I was, of course, dressed in purple. When my cousin spotted me, I had that purple jacket on, Linda, the one with all the embroidery on it. She said, I knew it was you with the colourful jacket. But the number of people who stop me when I'm wearing that jacket, especially the purple one, I don't know. I've got all the colours, but the purple one. And they all say the same thing. Oh, your jacket is gorgeous. But I couldn't wear it. And I'm like, why not? Why can you not wear it? Oh, it's colourful. I said, if you want to wear it. I can't see the problem. I don't know whether they don't like being looked at or what, I don't care. I'll wear something flamboyant. It's just me. It's just my nature. When I was young, a teenager, oh, God, you wouldn't recognise me. I was miserable. Everything was dirty colours. My mother used to despair. Why don't you wear a nice red? Oh, no. The other one shades of turquoise. I want to make one with black as the background and the bright colour that I have, that the boho spirit, and the lovely bright colour. I want to make one with black and the boho spirit, because the one I was wearing on Tuesday was white with the boho spirit. You see me wear it, well, you see me show it you. But I've got some more of that colour in the shed, so I'm going to make one with black. I like black around the edge of granny square jackets and stuff. I like that. I did say I was going to make one with cream, but cream's not me. It's very nice when they're done in creams and browns and neutral shades, and they do look nice. I made a kind of Frida Kahlo jacket for Sue in like creams and browns and that, and she loved it, and it was her colours. And lots of people have said, oh, I love that jacket you made for Sue. And I did like it, but it just wasn't my colours, if you know what I'm saying. You've all got colours you gravitate towards, don't you? Like some people like shades of blue, don't they? And some people like greens. I like anything that's what I call a dual colour. Not jewel as in fencing, I mean jewel as in jewels, yeah. I like anything like that. I like reds and peacocks, jade greens, anything along those lines I like. Purple, of course. You know me. My friend sent me a picture the other week and it was this completely purple house. Everything was purple. And she said, if you get a house on your own, this is what it looked like. I went, no, I'm not that bad. I have got a purple wall in my bedroom. You might remember it when I gave you a house tour when I first moved here. I've got a purple bedspread, purple patchwork, which my friend keeps saying she's going to snaffle off me when she comes. I said, no way. I actually bought it from, I don't know, it's Aldi, a little years ago. You know, from the middle aisle, yeah? Right, that's my dishcloth. Posh for a dishcloth, isn't it? But still, I'm sure she'll like it. Shall I try to do Tunisian? I've only got these Denise hooks. I can't find me solid hooks. I've only got the ones with the wires. The trouble with these is they won't unbend, if you're with me. Do I like polka dots? Not me, but my friend does. If you watch B loves polka dots, yeah. Yeah, they're Denise hooks, but they just, you can't get the bend out of them. I'm like with Sheila, can't get. I've done warm water, I've done all sorts with them, and I cannot get the, oh gosh, I can't read it. It's telling me what size they are up the side, but it's just appliqued in. Right, hang on. Oh, I need a 5, it says. That's a 5, I think. I think that's a 5. 4.55 millimetre, that's what I need. Yeah, they told me to do hot water, but it won't. I've had them soaking in almost boiling water. But I got some other cords. So I'm hoping that these cords might be better. Yeah, Sheila's got some circular needles that won't get the kink out of them. I got these, but these are still kinked. Somebody had said these were better. They've got to click in, haven't they? Why won't they click in? No, it won't click. Oh, these are a waste of time. Supposed to click in. You're supposed to turn it, aren't you, till it clicks in? But they won't. Oh, I guess that ain't a good job. Let's try one of the kinky ones that came with the set. I'm only doing a dishcloth, so I don't need a big cable. Let's see whether or not these go in. No. No, can't get it to stay in. Perhaps I'm not doing it right. Oh, this is great, isn't it? Aha! I've got it. Right, now I need to put an end on it. An end stop. Got an end on it. Right. Hunting the wild crumpet. Ooh, what kind of wild crumpet is that? Over here in England, crumpet is, I won't say a pretty young girl. I would just say, oh, not quite a bitch, but you know what I mean. Oh, the end's falling off. A bit of crumpet is strumpet, crumpet, whatever. Oh, it was. I'm not doing very well with these. Getting the ends to stay on. That end's on now, I think. Right. Here we go. I'm going to try plain because I've not done it before. So I'm going to do easy peasy, which says do 37 chain. It's a book on dishcloths. Some of them are very fancy. I'm not up to fancy. Small mammal. I hope it wasn't anything untoward. So long as it was a squirrel and not anything else, not a ratty rat. A prairie dog. Oh, well, we don't have them in England. Oh, this is weird. Trying to do it with this thing sticking out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh God. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. 33, 34, 35. There's a lady I watch. She does a lot of Tunisian. Can't think what she's called now. Crochet 70 ADHD, I think she's called. She Tunisians all the time. She'd rather do Tunisian than do her ordinary stuff. Right, here we go. Foundation row. Pick up a loop all the way across from the horizontal bar. Yeah. Pick up a loop in horizontal bar of the second chain. I suppose that's like ordinary crochet, isn't it? I can't cope with this thing sticking up in the air. Can't be coping with this. No wonder Sheila gets mad when her cables stick up in the air. Yeah, she's called Crochet something 80 AD, I think she's called. But she does so much Tunisian. All the time she does it. But I've never got the hang of it, really. Well, I can't with this stupid hook. Stupid wire. I've tried hot water, I've tried everything. I even tried ironing it. I've got some straight ones somewhere, but I can't find them today. I know what they're in, I can see them. They're in a roll thing. purple roller thing. They're in one of the cupboards, I think, somewhere. This is not working because my cotton's splitting like mad. Ooh. What are you doing, Janet? I wouldn't know what a prairie dog was if I saw it. We don't have things like that here. Thank goodness we don't have coyotes. We don't have anything like that, unless they're in a zoo. I don't think we have wolves, actually. We have foxes, but I don't think we've got wolves. I'm sure somebody will correct me. Somebody in England will correct me. We have wolves, but I think we've only got foxes. I was watching Martin Clunes the other day. He was in Australia or Tasmania looking for the Tasmanian devil. They're weird little creatures, they are. I don't know if they're dangerous. Maybe they eat cattle, or maybe they eat, not cattle, but hens and geese and chickens and stuff. When we went to Southport, there was loads and loads of geese in the sky. I don't know whether it's migrating time or what. They were all flying in formation all across the sky. When we were coming back, we got stuck in a horrendous traffic in the coach. Coming back, I had a jobs-worthy coach driver that kept saying, "Oh, I don't know about this scooter. Does it not come apart? Can you not take the batteries off? It's a bit heavy. Who can I sue if I do me back putting it in?" I said, "Look, either put it in or don't." I said, "I did ring the company up before I came, and they said there was no problem with me bringing it." "Oh," he said, "oh." I said, "So if you don't put it in, I'm going home." I said, "And I'll ring the company and say you wouldn't put my scooter on board." Anyway, when we come back home again, I said to him, "Thank you for looking after my scooter." He went, "No problem." Oh, you little sod. There he was, whinging and whinging. "Oh, I don't know whether I can put it on. Oh, does the battery not come off? Oh, this, oh, that." Just get the two vertical loops, pull up a loop. Eh. I thought you only went through what the first one once. I don't think you went through. Hang on, here we go. Let's have a little look. There's pictures at the back. I need pictures, me. Right, foundation, forward pass. No, I want to do my first row. I want to know, do I go through the first one or do I go through two? Pull up a loop, blah, 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 to close. One loop and then through two. I thought I only did one loop. See, I did remember that much from when I was watching somebody doing it. This should be fun. Not. My hook keeps twisting around. It's not got a throat plate because I'm used to a throat plate, to grip with me. This one's just a smooth hook, so I don't know what I'm holding on to. Oh, I'm not going to like this. I've got nothing to grip. Oh, dear Lord. Oh, yes, I can see me doing a lot of this. Not. One step forward, two steps back. Oh, it's... Oh, Lord. I'll be better with a solid hook. You know, not one of these bendy things. Of course, the worst of it isn't in line. It's a blob. It's not too bad, actually. It's a bit in line. But, oh, Lord. Oh, I can't see me doing much of this. I need to find me other hooks, the rigid ones. They're like a sort of a knitting needle with a hook on the end. I need to find them. Oh, this is not working. Oof. Maybe if I change the way I'm holding the hook. Oh, my hook keeps turning the wrong way. It doesn't want to stay with the hook facing me. Oh, God. Does it get easier as you go on? I want to do it like that hand, and my hook doesn't want to do that. My hook keeps turning round the other way. If I can get it to stay that way. See, now I'm getting to the end of the row, I'm all right. Oh, I can see this being a disaster. Oh, does anybody else do Tunisian? Ha ha ha. Oh, let's see where... Oh, I'm at the end of the row. Well, at least I've done a row. I've done a row. I've done a row. Right, let's have a go going back the other way. Maybe it gets better when you get further up it. When you've got more to sort of grab hold of, if you know what I mean. As the actress said to the bishop. Ooh, ooh. It was sad that so many shops were closed in Southport. You know, closed down, I don't mean closed. Sad. Very pretty place, though. The high street's got all these, like, balustrade things that you walk underneath, and the shops are really nice, like old-fashioned. But what I liked was they were like individual shops, you know, not all high streets, not all big stores. There were shops that sold all kind of like, you know, trinket things and really lovely stuff. All pricey, of course, but very pretty. But it's nice to see what I call small shops, you know, individual shops rather than high street where everybody looks the same, you know. What are you doing, Janet? Have you missed a stitch there? No, you haven't. Well, does it get easier? Anybody done Tunisian? Does it get easier as you go along? Otherwise, this dishcloth is never going to see the light of day. It's going to get pulled undone. They make it look so easy on the tutorials. It's a bit like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. I feel like I'm just learning how to crochet all over again. You know, when you're beginning and you can't get the hang of it, yeah, I feel like that. Ooh, I'm on my third row. Ooh, 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 ooh. Do, 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 do. Any of you do Tunisian? Any of you do it? Does it get better as you get along? Or is it always this hard? Right. Row number 4. It's not growing much. Man, you have to do 2 rows to do one, don't you, with Tunisian, if you know what I mean. You do a forward row and then a pass row, don't you? My hook keeps turning around. It doesn't keep facing the right direction. My hook keeps turning down instead of staying up. If my hook stayed up, I'd be all right. But it doesn't, it keeps going downwards. And I can't crochet with my hook downwards. It's probably because of the way I normally crochet. This is kind of like alien to the way I crochet. I watch a lady who lives on a narrowboat. She's called a narrowboat pirate. And she moored up the other day and went to the pub, and that lady who has the wool boat was there. I've seen her on Facebook, the lady with the wool boat. I don't think she has a YouTube, not a YouTube channel. She has a Facebook page, but I don't think she has a YouTube channel. She sells the wool off the side of the, the barge, like a narrowboat. Anyway, Trevor gets moored up. They have a cheese barge and a bread barge and something else. When my niece moves, she's got the canal at the back of her. I'm looking forward to going to see her. Seeing the canal, seeing the barges. You never know, somebody might offer me a ride up and down the canal. I watched that Robbie Cummins on the television. He goes up and down on his, it's called the Narrowboat Diaries. I watched that. I wouldn't like to live on one. I don't think I could cope with all this, filling up with water and emptying out your toilet and stuff. Couldn't deal with that. But I wouldn't mind going for a ride on one. Or even a holiday on one. So long as somebody else was filling up the water tank. My friend was saying the other day, oh, I'd love a camper van. I said, oh, I wouldn't. Oh, good night, Sophie. No, I couldn't manage the locks. They look such hard work, don't they? And you have to jump on and off them. I mean, that Robbie, I was watching him was it yesterday? He fell in. He was negotiating. He got off the boat, like, you know, to do something. And then when he was getting back on, he fell in. I thought, oh, that'd be me. I mean, would you really want to empty the toilet and stuff like that and deal with all the locks and stuff? They're blooming hard work, them locks. And you have to keep moving or pay really high mooring fees. Now, if I had one, I'd want one that was permanently moored up. Does Joe want to go on a narrowboat, or is it just you, Nathan? There's a lady that I watch as well called Green Lentil or something. She's on a tiny, tiny little thing. I thought, oh no, I couldn't live on that. I think she's called Green Lentil or something. Hers is only 20 foot. It's almost like a dormobile. Yeah, you have to find places where you can pump it out, and that's not everywhere. Oh, I couldn't deal with that. I mean, my son's camper van has a cassette. I wouldn't like that. Oh, I'm a princess, me. I like flushing toilets and hot showers. That's why I could never go camping. I might go glamping if I had a proper bed, but I couldn't go. I mean, when my mum had a caravan, it was permanently moored in one spot, so she was linked up to, you know, the gas and the water and the mains. Yeah, she didn't have to do any of that business. Electric, she had electric now. Yeah, I think she had Cala gas, but you know, for the cooking. But somebody used to come round, you know, and deliver it and fit it on for them. I'm just a princess. I couldn't deal with anything like that. My friend is the one who said, if I won the lottery, I'd have horses and a stable and that. I said, look, you can't walk. You're in a, you know, she's in a scooter thing like me. I said, why the hell would you want horses? I said, you can't get on one. She said, yeah, but I just like being around horses. I said, you couldn't muck a stable out, yeah. Yeah, there's some in London that are like what they call like a houseboat. You know, they're linked up to everything. I could live on one of them. Like I say, I'm a princess. Roughing it does not come into my vocabulary. This is a bit flopsy. It said use a 5mm hook. It's an American book, so maybe the cotton's thicker in America than what I'm using. It's like Shad in his tiny house. I could only live in a tiny house if it was linked up to the mains, yeah. I'd have to have two tiny houses, wouldn't I? One for me wool and one for me. It's looking very flopsy though. You know, floppy. Yeah, but you still got to empty everything out, Nathan. They might come with everything, but you've got to have, I mean, the newest ones are electric and they cost an absolute fortune. But you've got to have solar panels, and you know how much sun we get in England. You know, they run out of power because you can't run them off the engine. A lot of the electric ones, you've got to plug them in every night up to, you know, a mooring that's got somewhere to plug you in, the electric ones. I think you should go on a holiday in one before you even contemplate saving up to buy one. I think you need a holiday on one first to see whether you could negotiate this. I mean, I was watching, like I said, that Robbie Cummins, and he had about 22 locks in a one after the other. And you've got to do them all in one go because you can't park up. There's nowhere to park. And I'm like, oh my God. And it was going dark. And he was saying, I have to get to the top of these. Then he fell in. I don't think I could do any of the posh ones in there, Nerdy. I think I'm struggling enough with the basic stitch here. And it's looking very flopsy. I don't like it. There was a spider in the shed yesterday. It wasn't that big. It was big enough. It wasn't a bird eater, as I call them. I used to say that to my ex-husband. I said, it's a bird-eating one. He said, oh, give over. It's a huntsman or something, whatever. You see, if I could hold it like this and do this, I'd be getting on quite well with it. But it's too flopsy, my hook. When I get to the end of the row, I'm all right. It's very floppy. You told me to use this hook, though. I think I need some chocolate. I think it's just getting to me. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. We have daddy long legs, we call them. They've got long, long legs. I don't like them. They sort of fly around you. I had a fly in here yesterday that was bugging me. Kept dive bombing me around my head and my ears, and I'm like, go away. That's the Kit Kat. It's a biscuit. Oop, there we go. A biscuit covered in chocolate. Have a break, have a Kit Kat. Hello there. Yeah, I know, it's very yummy. It is very yummy. I've really gone off crisps at the moment. You know, chips you call them in America. Really gone off them. Yeah, camera must be getting big now. Do you still do the videos? I don't remember seeing any from you for a long, 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 long time. Maybe YouTube's unsubscribed me. It does that all the time. Do you never find that? You think to yourself, I've never seen so-and-so for such a long time. And then you find that YouTube's unsubscribed you. Well, I knew he had autism. He's had that from a while. Haley's son's like that. Haley's hats. She doesn't do the videos anymore. But her two kids are doing well. She's got two of them with autism. And the other kids left home now. Oh, you like the Twix? No, I like the Kit Kat. Oh, goodness. I've done that in my time. When I used to have a baby, I used to work full time and everything. Don't be greedy, Daddy. Can't have them both. I can't lose that other. I put a stone on, which is £14, and I couldn't get me injections. I'll have lost half of that, but I cannot lose the other half to get back to where I was, yeah. I haven't made a video for about 3 weeks. I was just going to say, Kaz hasn't come on, but it's her daughter's birthday, isn't it? She said she wouldn't. She wouldn't be on because it was her daughter's birthday. I remembered what she said she was going to be. I'm not putting it on, but I'm not losing it, so it's sort of like stalemate, isn't it, at the moment? It's hard to lose weight, I know. I know it's hard when you've got a family, when young ones. I wasn't so bad when I worked because I worked in the wool shop, so I did have some time at the shop to actually do things, yeah. Because I didn't have a lot of time when I got back home. Oh gosh, she was homeschooled. How on earth do you work? Oh yeah, the Ozempic thing messed me up. Ugh. It messed me IBS up. It messed everything up. I've got a poor appetite, really, but it's not the quantity I eat, it's what I eat. Oh, he's got a carer. It's, I have a habit of eating all the wrong things. That's the trouble. That's not so bad. I think they usually have to go to a specialised school over here. I don't think they get carers. I don't know, because I'm fortunate enough not to have a child with problems. I know Hayley and Shan. Shan's got a little boy with. I don't know whether it's ADHD or autism. I'm not very well up with these things. But Hayley had 2 of them. You don't think you get 2 in one family, do you? But it must happen. As I say, our family's been fortunate. My nieces and my son, nobody's got any problems. Yeah, I like biscuits sometimes, and I pick about, instead of eating a proper meal, which would probably have far less calories in it, I tend to eat a sandwich or peck about. As I say, I can't eat an enormous meal, I just have to leave it, I cannot eat it. But you don't have to eat a lot if you eat the wrong things, do you? Which I am guilty of. I'll hold my hand up. I'm not one of these people who says, oh, I eat like a little bird. I don't know why I'm putting weight on. I just like a piece of cake, or I like ice cream, and I like everything. Yeah, as I say, I've been very fortunate, really, Munchkin. I've never had anybody in my immediate family. I don't know about my mum's side of the family, whether any of my cousins have had children with problems. I don't know. I don't know my cousin's children that well, with me. So I don't know whether any of them have got problems. But my eldest niece doesn't have any children. And my youngest niece has got 2 kids. As far as I know, they're fine. It's just something that happens. I don't think anybody knows why. It's not like, oh, you've ate the wrong food, or you got measles or something when you were pregnant. I just don't think anybody knows why it happens. There's a lot of unexplained things in this life, isn't there? If you knew why, then you wouldn't do it, would you? You know what I mean? If you knew why it was happening, or I did this or that or the other. It's just the luck of the draw, isn't it, really? Yeah, I knew you used to drive a bus, yeah. Have the other kids left home now? They're getting older, aren't they now? I don't think they can really prove that it's any of the jabs that they give babies. I think it's something that they're born with. I don't think you can blame it on. These anti-vaxxers blame all sorts. Oh, it's this, it's that, it's the other. But I don't think it is, When I get to the end of the row, it's not so bad. I can do it better. Well, I can hold my hook like I like to hold it. But I can't hold it like that at the beginning of the row. I'm sure I'd be better with a solid hook. Yeah, I can remember that. Yeah, he did have difficulties. It's so hard because kids develop at different rates. I mean, my son was a fast walker, but not a fast talker. And yet my two nieces were the opposite. They talked and talked, but they didn't walk. You just don't know the whatever. I was supposed to get my jabs. I'll get my flu jab, but I'm bored if I'm having my COVID at the same time. They can go and get stood on. They made me ill last year. Well, I'm doing this, but I can't say as I'm thrilled. It's like slow. It's slower than knitting. You know, I would have had a dishcloth crocheted by now, instead of this faffing about. Yeah, everybody holds their hooks different. I mean, some people like knit it, don't they? I think this is why I'm struggling, because the way I crochet isn't the way that's the best for doing Tunisian. I think you need to kind of more like knit it, if you're with me. But it's slow, this, to me. I thought it would be much quicker than this. Maybe when I'm getting a bit better. Yeah, it's nice to see people back interested in. I think it's skipped a generation. You know, a lot of, like, my son's age group or younger don't crochet or sew, but the next generation coming up now, like the teenagers and the 20-somethings, are all into this recycling and redoing anything, aren't they? Now they're into it again. Oh, gosh. I think it's this hook is why I'm struggling. If I could find the other hooks, I think I'd do a heck of a lot better. I did have a quick look for them just before I came on here, but I can't remember what I've done with them. They're in a lovely purple, needle roll. I know where they are. I can see them in my mind's eye, but I can't remember where I put them. They're in that safe place, the one where you put things and you can't find them ever again. Like Nerdy with the crochet hooks, yeah. My favourite hook is Susan Bates. It's an inline hook, which Nathan's just got a furls and he's struggling with it because he's not used to an inline. I can't use the boy or anything like that, what I call a blob. I'm not keen on, I'm not keen on this because it's slow to me, but I'm not keen on loom knitting either because it's slow. But it's slow to me anyway. Well, look at that. What do you call it? Jonah. He crochets for England, doesn't he? Well, crochets for America, I should say. Yeah, this is an inline hook. I'm not doing that bad with it. It's just, I think I'd do better with a kind of, not a wobbly hook. I bought these Denise because everybody said, oh, they're the best ones to have. But they're probably the people who can knit on circular needles, aren't they? I still don't like it. It's still floppy. You know, if it was crocheting, it'd be a lot firmer. You know, it feels like floppy knitting to me. I mean, Ian that used to come on here, he sent me a lovely washcloth. I still got it. It made in sugar and cream. It's got like a sort of waffle pattern on it. He was really into the Tunisian. But it wasn't floppy like this. It's slower for me because my hook keeps turning around, you know, facing the wrong direction. I want it to face upwards so that I can pull it through quicker. This is going to be a labour of love. Whether it gets finished or not is another matter. It just feels floppy. And it's took me ages. I mean, I've only done that bit. If that had been crocheted, it would have been halfway done by now. And it's hurting my little finger. Oh, look, it keeps turning round the other way. Oh, this is not going to get done. I can see this coming. I can see this being a great unravel mess. I might leave it and see if I can find those other hooks tomorrow. I want to do this with it like I'm doing it now, but you can't when you've got more stitches on. I want to just hold it and pull it through. When I've got more stitches on the hook, I can't do it. That is going to get stopped now until I can find them other hooks. Oh, I mean, look at it. That's all I've done. It took me ages to do that bit, hasn't it? I could have had it done by now. And it's like floppy. When you consider how firm the other one is that I've just crocheted and how floppy this is. It doesn't even look like the picture. It looks like a knit stitch. Yeah, I'm doing what is this telling me to do. Never mind. That's going to get shelved for now because it's not going anywhere and it's driving me mad. That is going there for now because it's hurting my little finger. I mean, when you think how firm that is. Oh, I love perfume. I've got that Sarah Jessica Parker on today called Joy, but it just fades. Yeah, that's much better, isn't it? It's very firm. I tried to do basket stitch, but the wool kept splitting, you know, while I was going round, you know, how you go round the stitch and round the front of the stitch and round the back of the stitch. It was hurting my hand, as usual. What a surprise. Yeah, they have to use chemicals now. A lot of the things they used to use, and they can't use it. Well, this one's wearing off. I only sprayed it on before I came on here, and already it's fading. Oh, my daughter-in-law wears one. Oh, I can't deal with heavy perfume. It gives me migraine. I don't know what it is. I'm not asking her. Oh, it's really strong. Right, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Oh, no, I just made the dishcloth myself, that one. This one, I'm supposed to be following a pattern, but it's not coming out like the pattern. I think she's called Chris. Am I right? Is it Chris? Another Chris, I think. Maybe I've remembered it wrong. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 39, 40. There we go. It's got 40 stitches. I don't know why loom knitting never really appeals to me. I mean, I once tried weaving, but I tended to pull it in too tight. So instead of going like straight, it went in like an hourglass. But it was only a cheap loom. It was only when I was younger. You know, some people do some beautiful. It's like spinning. I mean, a friend of mine bought a loom, not a loom spinner, one of them things that you hang down and it spins round, but she never got the hang of it. You know, you get them bat things, don't you? What they call them, like fluff things. Then you have to spin it. I mean, Kelly had a try at that. I don't know what they call them. They're like a long spindle, aren't they, that you just spin it round and round and round. And you try to do your wool like that, the fluff thing at the same time. And of course, it all goes thick and thin, you know. I think Denise had a go at doing it once. I know that other lady that I watched does it, the one who's unfortunately had an operation. Not quite enough yarn. Leslie. She does spinning, but I think she's got a proper loom. Hello, who wants me? I used to watch it. There used to be a lady who used to come to the Knitting Nora's. Oh, it was you that sent me a pic. Right, I'll look at it in a minute. There was a lady who used to have a proper spinning. It's very mesmerising watching her. It's not something that's really actually appealed to me, that. The same with hand dyeing yarn. Maybe because I don't wear wool. I'm a bit like Sheila. It makes me itch. And maybe like it's a money thing as well, because I mean, buying these fancy wools to dye, hand dye, is not cheap. I'll admit it, I'm tight. I'm not tight, I'm just impoverished. But you know what I mean. I think it's a hobby that's an expensive hobby. Yeah, I could never get the hang of it. I mean, Kelly tried, but I don't think she really got the hang of it, you know. And I don't think that little Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful, I don't think she did either. I don't think she got the hang of it. But a lot of it, you've got to card it all, haven't you? Them carding them machines to make the fluff stuff and that. But Leslie's just made one video recently. She's been in hospital, having a major op. I like the way she calls her husband himself, yeah. He goes watching their nephew play golf, and every time he goes, he comes back with some wool that he's found in some wool shops and that. The reason why she's called Not Quite Enough is she's absolutely gazillions of yarn, but she never has quite enough in one colour to do a cardigan or a sweater in one colour. So everything she makes has got like stripes or patches of colour and everything. I like using different colours, but I don't think I'd want all of my cardigans to be matched up. I used to do a lot of stripy things when my son was little because my mum would have these odd balls, or sometimes representatives would come in, and they would leave us one ball of something for us to knit up and see whether we liked it, in order that we would stock it. So we would get quite a lot of sample balls that we never quite knew what to do. And so I used to knit stripy sweaters for my son when he was little. Obviously, the bigger he got, the more I couldn't do it. But when he was little, a couple of 100 grams would do him a sweater. My ex-husband said, "Why does he always have to have everything in stripes? Why does he never have a cardigan with one colour?" Because I get it for free, that's why. I used to love going to those shows in Harrogate and that. I don't mean like they have now. These were big commercial ones. It weren't hand-dyed. In fact, there wasn't such a thing as hand-dyed when I had my shop. There was stock yarn, but it was in balls, a bit like opal. You didn't get, woolen hanks and stuff. I mean, nobody would have paid that kind of money. If I'd have had skeins of wool in my shop for 20 quid, they'd have laughed at me, Back then, it wasn't the same culture as there is now. I mean, now people pay £20 and £30 for one skein, don't they? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely beautiful. But, I wouldn't be able to wear it if I had enough money to get a jumper's worth. And B, I don't know, it made me itch. I'd be like Itchy Coo. I'd be sitting there going, mm-hmm. I'm not as bad as Sheila. I can actually knit it. I do get dermatitis on my fingers if I use... I don't know if it's the dye that comes off hand-dyed yarn or what, but it gives me dermatitis. I think a lot of dyers don't... You're supposed to rinse it all in vinegar and stuff to set it, I know Kelly did a bit of it at one time. But she only used to dye, like one skein at once for socks and stuff. She used to knit loads of socks. I don't know if she still does because she's working now. And I lost touch with her when I came over here. Neither of us have a car, so she couldn't come visiting me and I couldn't go visiting her, yeah. Even when we were both in Manchester, I used to have to get a taxi because she wasn't on a bus route. Same with her, she'd have to get a taxi to go and see me. Even though we only lived not that far apart, it was just awkward. You couldn't use public transport or anything. So I don't know how she's going on. I mean, she went to be a teacher's assistant, but I've not heard from her since I moved here. We kept in touch for a little while, but when she went working full time, it like dwindled. She hadn't got time, and as I say, it's very hard working full time when you've got little young kids. Well, I don't know how old her eldest one. He must be going to senior school now. Her eldest one. Jamal, yeah. Can't think. 4 years on. He would be about 8. Yeah, but he's at senior school now. She's not on Facebook because she doesn't do videos anymore. So it's difficult to get a hold of her. And I don't even know if she's got the same phone number. Da da dee da. How do you find working on a spindle? It's a bit like I said, patting your head and rubbing your tummy, isn't it? Holding the wool and getting the thickness even without getting thick and thin bits. If I did that, mine would be all textured. You'd get great big lumps in it, and then a thin bit, then another big lump. I love textured yarn, but it's always so expensive. You know, it's thick and then it's thin, and it makes lovely designs. See, look, I'm crocheting now. I've done all that. I've done nearly as much. Ostentatious. Oh, my goodness me. That's a big word for a Saturday night, nerdy. I prefer a lot of the aftershaves, actually. I don't know why. You know, the aftershave colognes, like. They don't seem to fade the same as some of the perfumes. But I don't like the very strong, heavy perfumes, you know, like the opiums and poisons and that of this world. They're just too... Well, they give me migraines. I have terrible trouble with migraines with perfume. You know, when you're next to somebody who's took a bath in it, we've all stood next to them, haven't we? We used to have a lot of ladies who lunch when I lived in Prestwich, you know, the rich ones. And you happen to go in the cafe or wherever at the same time as them. Oh my God. They used to overwhelm you because they'd all try to outdo each other with these expensive perfumes. And the whole cafe would be like, you know, it's supposed to smell of food, isn't it? Not stinky perfumes. I need to watch Paula before I go to bed. See what she's been doing. What Sheila? She got another pile of wool given her. Oh, she's a lucky girl. Versace Dylan purple. Oh, I like the purple, but I don't know what that's about. I never smelt it. Oh, Estee Lauder. Oh, my mother used to like that as well. I think that's why I like men's aftershave. They're sort of more, not earthy, but more masculine. They're not fluffy, are they, you know? As I say, I'm wearing Sarah Jessica Parker. She called Joy. But it just fades. I only put it on before I came on here and I can't smell it anymore. If I put my... I can smell it if I put me right up to my nose, but it's so delicate I don't think anybody would know I have it on. But when you're paying such a lot for it... I mean, my favourite perfume is Penhaligon's Quercus, but it's £120 a bottle. It's a bit like Chanel number 5, isn't it? I love Chanel. But, oh, God, that is so expensive. I like perfume oils, but they're very hard to get a hold of now. I like CK1 and things like that. They're not very expensive, but... Oh, I know, the perfume. Oh, dear. Who can afford perfume? You can only afford toilet water, can't you now? I used to buy Chanel number 5 when I was younger. But it wasn't, it was dear, but it's not that dear. Yeah, some women are the worst. I think they've got to... And then they have it in the handbag. And while they're out, they're squirting. They go in the ladies to the ladies, and then they squirt perfume all over the ladies and them. And you're thinking, you smelt really strongly before you went into the ladies. Now you stunk the whole ladies out. But I do love Penhaligon. They're lovely. I mean, the perfumiers to the royal family, yeah. Now, I was watching some guy on a video, and he owns like a perfume shop, and he has all these oils and that, and he mixes different perfumes for people, depending on their taste. And I thought, oh, how lovely and wonderful. Till I looked at the price. My goodness me, you'd have to be a millionaire to go and shop there. But it must be nice to have like a signature scent that's all yours, that nobody else has, and you can just waft by and people know it's you because you're wearing your signature perfume, yeah. I think that fly's finally disappeared. It hasn't bothered me for ages. See, look, I've done as much in crocheting as I've done in that Tunisian. I can't see me being a Tunisian fan. I'm not doing so bad, You've got your problems with your arthritis and stuff, but like everybody else on here, you just keep going, girl, It's like keep going, you fool, isn't it, I took my pills before I came on here. Yeah. You just... I try to find... Yeah, I try to find something good. My hand's really sore today. Try to find something good, because I hate it when people come on and it's just a catalogue of woes from one end of the video, beginning to the end. And I'm like, they've got all these subscribers, and I'm thinking, it puts me off. I mean, I know people have got problems, and I know people like to speak about their problems, and stuff like that. But you know, when every video they ever make is like, oh, all the time, I try to put it out of my mind, because I figure if I'm talking to you, you're taking my mind off it, you know, while I'm here chatting. I'm not thinking about it, you know, so that's nice. And I kind of hope that, you know, like we're all feeling the same while we're chatting. It's taking our mind off whatever problems we've got, you know, health-wise or in the house or money issues and things like that. I think it's, oh, some people, oh, they make it. And I can't understand why they've got like thousands of subscribers when all they ever talk about is going to the, you know, ER, whatever it is in America. You know, and I've been to the GP, I've been to the doctors, and, you know, and I've got a migraine, and I've got the, and I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, get on with your life, will you just get on with your life? Yeah, well, mine's my little finger. I know what it is. That finger there got broken in the car taxi door. It, it was my own fault. I was right holding the hinge, and he shut the sliding door on my hand, and it broke my finger. But it started on this one now, and I've got like a lump, you know, like in the centre of my palm now where I can feel it. And it's really, really sore. But you just have to keep on, don't you? Keep on trucking, as they say. You can't give up every time you've got a pain anywhere. Because when you get to my age, good God, you know, it'd be wonderful if I didn't have any pains. You know, it's like my friend says, you know, we wake up some mornings and there's no pain, and you think, am I still alive? Am I dead? You know? I mean, my mum, she had terrible, terrible arthritis. And she had what I've got, osteoarthritis, spondylitis. And they used to keep saying to her, these specialists, you know, oh, stop knitting, stop crocheting, stop this, stop that. And she used to say, no, because if I stop knitting, I'll just seize up altogether. It's like me, I'm in real pain with my little finger. But before I started doing my crocheting tonight, I fell asleep in the chair. And I just woke up and I couldn't move my hand at all. And that was just purely like going to sleep with my hand, you know, in the wrong position. So that was far worse pain than me doing my crocheting, if you know what I'm saying. So I thought, no, I'll just keep on crocheting. I mean, you've got to stay moving, because if you don't, you lose it, don't you? I mean, I push myself with my spine, and I know lots of people with similar things to me who are in wheelchairs. But I will, I'm my own worst enemy. I won't take the pills unless I have to, you know. I think my mother would call it stoic. I'm very stoic. I won't let a pain beat me. You know, I'll just put up with it and get on with it. And, you know, I know people who've got not as many problems as I've got, you know, and they're like, oh, all day long. And I'm like, you're wasting your life, aren't you, moaning? Yeah, I don't want to moan. Every now and again, I'll have a whinge. You all know I'll have a whinge every now and again. I think I must have, yeah. But, you know, we all have a whinge, don't we, every now and again? So sometimes you feel like it, don't you? You think, right, I've had enough of this. I'm going to whinge. But not all the time. You finish up with no friends, don't you? You know, people get so sick of you. You've all got a friend, haven't you? We all have one, where you daren't say to them, how are you feeling today? You know, how are you? Because you get it, don't you, in the neck. And they're there for the next quarter of an hour, and you're like, oh, what time is it? I think I need to go home, yeah. You're not being mean, but like, you've heard it all before, haven't you? And you're like fed up with it all. And I always think that there's people on here, my subscribers, and that are far worse than me. You know, I'm not the only person. So I like to try and be cheerful. I mean, I haven't been making videos recently because things have been going on in my life, and also my camera's not been charging up, and when my camera's charged up, my PC's not been working, and you think, oh God, I can't be bothered, you know, it's so much hassle. I miss doing the videos, I will try, but I think I'm going to have to splash out and get a new, you know, computer box thing, whatever they call them. They used to call them a tower, but they're not towers. No, I didn't get the storm. Nathan did, because he got loads of flooding where he was. Not actually in his place, because he's not on the ground floor. I seen it. But he got loads of flooding. His car park was flooded. And Linda was saying before that she got thunderstorms and that. I thought earlier on that there was thunder and lightning, but I think it was somebody with fireworks. But no, we haven't had any rain. I think it was forecast. But so far, no. Touching wood, touching wood, touching wood. I mean, I won't say it's been cracking the flags sunny, but it's been, you know, fair. You know, no rain. We tend to get rain later on here, you know, like at tea time or after. Or rain through the night, you know. Yeah, some places have had it really bad. I mean, like I say, Nathan's been, well, not personally been flooded, but where he lives has been flooded. I don't like thunder and lightning. We don't tend to get snow here. I think it's because we're so close to the sea. When I was in Manchester, we used to get lots of snow, yeah. But here we get sometimes a coating of frost, really, but we don't really get much snow. Somebody said it's because of the salt in the air, you know, from the sea. So I think that's why we don't get snow. I remember when we first came here, people getting really, really excited because there was about an inch of snow that lasted about half an hour. And everybody's going, snow, snow. And I'm like, what's wrong with everybody? Snow, snow. I mean, when I lived on Mountside in Prestwich, gosh, I mean, it was a hill. It was a hill and a half I used to live on. And that used to get, you know, really snow because it was like that, you know. I lived at the top, I was all right. I would have never got flooded because if it had flooded down the bottom, it would have had to be about 20 foot high to flood me at the top, yeah. Yeah, you see lots of places, especially places like Spain and that, they don't seem to have very good drainage systems, do they? And I don't think a lot of the houses have got gutters, you know. It comes straight down off the roof, doesn't it? Straight everywhere because they don't have gutters and downspouts and proper drains. I can remember Grace telling me that, you know, she lived in Texas somewhere, that they don't have drains where she lived, yeah. Yeah, I tolerate a lot of pain. I'm a bit like Chris, I like a heat pad. You know, even if it's hot, I like a heat pad on me. You know, where it's hurting, yeah. I'd take a heat pad over a painkiller any day, yeah. But yeah, I looked at the pictures. There was Benidorm about a month or 2 months ago. It was absolutely like a torrent going down the main street. It was like floating cars away. And I'm like, you know, I know it's a hot place, but you do have rain sometimes. You know, you should. I mean, half the time here, if we have standing water, it's not really floods, but standing water. because they don't clear out the drains like they used to. I mean, in the good old days, that fella used to come round, didn't he, with his little wagon, and he used to, put it down the drain, didn't he, and suck all the muck up out of the drain. But now you never see anybody like a road sweeper or anything. I've seen one come down here since I moved here. Whereas where I lived in Prestwich, one used to come about every 2 months. Sweep all down, to get rid of all the leaves and that. And then he used to suck out the drain things, to make sure they were all working. Because I lived on a hill, so I felt sorry for the people at the bottom. Oh, we have the council. In England, you pay money with rates and that to the council, and they're supposed to, do things like road maintenance, which they don't, potholes where you can disappear inside. I don't know why we pay road tax. Well, I don't, because I don't have a car, but, well, actually I do, because I pay road tax with my scooter. But, yeah, I don't know what they do with our council tax money. They take it off everybody every month, but they don't sweep the streets and clean the drains out like they used to. I mean, in the older days, you used to see road sweepers there all the time, but now you just never see them now. I mean, half of the problem that Nathan's had with it flooding, it's probably because nobody's cleaned the drains out a lot. Oh, they do. They spend it on other things. I daren't say what I say because you get accused of being a racist, but, they spend it on other things, let's just say. Yeah, I suppose the NHS do get some. Never enough. Probably the politicians get most of it. Am I being cynical here? Am I being cynical? With their subsidised meals in the Houses of Parliament, and they're drinking, and they shouldn't be drinking when they're on duty, so I don't know why they have subsidised bars. They should be on tea and coffee when they're working, not bottles of wine and Bollinger and stuff. Subsidised prices. Tea and coffee and a biscuit, yeah. Not subsidised blooming 3-course meals. Well, they do, don't they? All politicians, I don't care which country you live in, they're all the same. And I don't care what party they're from. I'm not political. I'm not signalling out one party from another. They're just all in it for themselves, and they all lie. Oh, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll do the other. You see it in England, you see it in America, you see it all over. They'll promise you the world until you vote for them. Yeah, they've all got their hand in the till somewhere. I mean, they took the heating allowance off us, and yet Rachel Reeves or whatever she is, and Angela Thingamajigger claimed 11 grand for their heating for their second home last year. Come on, If you've got to take our heating allowance, take theirs as well. Not being funny, but, one law for them, one law for us. I mean, people are saying, yeah, but it's this, and, but it's the Conservatives. I said, I don't care what party they're from. I'm not political. I'm not calling one party over another. They're just all as bad as each other. I mean, they come around knocking on your door when they want votes, don't they? Oh, we're going to do this. And then they have amnesia, don't they, the minute they get in power. I mean, I don't know what it's like in America, because obviously I'm not American, but I would imagine it's exactly the same as it is here. Vote for us, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, we'll give you the other. Get in power. Oh, they've all forgot. Like you say, amnesia, total amnesia. Did they really say that? Yeah, you've been filmed. You're on a video saying that. There's no poor MPs, is there? Poor politicians. None of them will be starving this winter. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They can give 6 billion. Is it 60 billion or 600 billion? They can give that away to somebody else abroad, but they can't look after their own here. Oh, they won't freeze, no, and they won't starve because they have subsidised dinners, don't they? And yet, the other MPs won't vote against them because they make life difficult for them, don't they? If they do, they're not allowed to say what they really think. And I'm not just talking about the Labour, I'm talking about any. If you say anything, you get somebody banging on, don't you? Oh, the Conservatives did this, that, and the other. So I'm not talking about anybody. They're all as bad. I'm not political. I'm not singling one party out. I would just like a party to come in and do what they said they're going to do and not change their mind the minute they voted in. Honest politician, what's one of them? What's one of them? Oh, it's all look after number one, isn't it? In the boys' club, yeah. And all the ones that are on the take, all the others cover up for them, don't they? Oh, we didn't know this, or oh, we didn't know that. They do. It's all boys' club, isn't it? There's nobody down at grassroots level, is there? Nobody living off the kind of money that the bottom section of work. I mean, people who are working on very low wages and that. And then they're saying, oh, you should be doing a pension plot. You should be thinking about your future. I mean, like myself, I've never had a high-paying job where I've had that much money left over, to get a really good private pension, yeah. Yeah, I'll be living on beans on toast soon, girl, yeah. An egg on toast, yeah. But if you're not fortunate enough to if you're a normal working person, if you've just got an average job with an average wage, and you're trying to keep a home together and you've got kiddies and things like that, you don't have money to put aside every month for a really good pension, do you? Because you need that money on a day-to-day basis. And I don't mean you're going abroad on holiday and all these fancy things. A lot of people just survive, You don't have, I don't know how much it would be each month for a private pension, but you don't have it spare. So you think, oh, well, my old age pension will be enough. And then, no, it's not, because they're taking it all off you. It's just so unfair. So unfair. If we could afford the beans, Gail, it might just be toast. Yeah, Andy's, the PM's just had a private box, hasn't he, in the football stadium with 35 grand, yeah. Don't hold your breath, Gail, with your state pension, love, It's not going to keep you. Never mind, I'll have won the lottery, won't I? What do you say, live in hope and die in despair? We've got to have our dreams, haven't we? What we would do if we won the lottery. You've got to have a dream. You're lucky if you get that. I don't. I'm on the low rate, Nathan. I don't get that. Because I claimed before there's two rates of pension. There's the new rate and the old rate. And I'm on the old rate, so I don't even get that a month. Andy's talking about taking the 25% off us for single person council tax allowance. Now mine's, wait a minute, I can't work it out without a calculator, what I get. It's not 884, I can tell you that. Oh, God, I had... Oh, Lord, everything... Oh, God, I've just knocked on my computer. I hope it don't go off now. Calculator. No, mine's 676, Nathan. That's what I get. Yeah, I'm on nearly £200 a month less. And they've got no plans to bring me into line with anybody else. Yeah, I'm £194 a month less than that. But yet I would still have all the same bills as anybody else who's on the 884. That's what's so annoying. I don't know why there's two different rates. And it's like the older ones like me that would feel the cold more, you know. I don't get that nerdy. I get more like 700. Yeah, that's our lovely government. That's why they think they're giving you the world, yeah. Andy's taking our 300 quid off us. Our heating allowance. That's what we're all grumbling at. He is a total and utter pile of piece of work. And he's freeing people out of the prison now, isn't he? Before they've even finished their sentence. It could be rapists, they could be paedophiles, they could be anything, and he's letting them out of prison. I know. They give it you with one hand and they'll take it off you with another. I mean, I do think there should be some kind of means test. You know, I mean, they get the very, very rich pensioners, don't you? The ones with the huge private pensions that they don't need their heating allowance. They've got enough money. If I had the higher rate of pension, I wouldn't be so, you know, bothered about my heating allowance. No, they don't. there's no... I know they've got to do something, because don't forget, I worked in a department where people didn't want a job. Nothing wrong with them, but they didn't want a job. But they're the kind of people who, when they retire on full pension, and they get pension credit and everything, and all they've done all their life is sit on their backside. They've not got health disabilities, they've not got anything, just lazy-ites, you know. And there's a lot of them in this country that are lazy and don't want to work. Yeah, I get some disability living allowance, but it all goes on my scooter. My scooter's on rental, so I have to pay that, yeah. It's going to come to that in a bit, isn't it? We're all going to be living in a tent. You have to go with Nathan and go on a narrowboat. Mind you, it's not cheap on a narrowboat if you listen to, you know, the mooring fees and all the things they've got to pay when things go wrong on their boat, you know, the maintenance and stuff. It's not cheap, even living on a boat. I don't think the canal's that deep. It's like people who won't go on a cruise because they can't swim, and I think if the boat sank, you wouldn't be able to swim anywhere anyway. You know, you'd be in the middle of the ocean, wouldn't you, you know? No, living on an narrowboat. I could live on a big caravan that was like parked in a permanent place, you know, that had all mod cons. Well, I could, apart from all the wool I've got, which I wouldn't know where to put. I'd have to have a storage unit, wouldn't I? 2 caravans, one side by side. One for the show. Yeah, or it'd have to be a static. I'm a princess scale. I need flushing toilets and hot water and being linked up to the electric, you know. I'm a princess. They're a lot more expensive. Oh, have you seen the price of them, Nathan? Oof. You can get a house cheaper. And then you've got all the maintenance, haven't you? You've got to take it out of the water. Trevor was telling me. You have to take it out of the water every 2 or 3 years to get all the, you know, the bottom sorted out and painted, make sure there's no holes in them and stuff like that. You've got to pay dry dock and everything. It's not cheap owning a... Yeah, it's not cheap owning a narrowboat. You know, I think people think, oh, well, you buy the boat and that's it. But if you listen to all these people who own a boat, you know how much extras they've got to pay for everything. Oh, yeah, my mum had to give her static up. It's not that, but they start being awkward. If your caravan's more than so many years old, they don't want it on their site. And then they won't let you put any old caravan on the site. You've got to get one from them, and they're dearer, or you've got to sell it back to them. You know, they have you over a barrel, even with a static caravan. Yeah, a lot of places you can't be there all year. You've got to take it off because they close it down, don't they? They turn I mean, my mum and dad's caravan, they used to turn the electric and the water and everything off So you could go and visit, but you couldn't flush the toilet or get a drink or anything. Mum and Dad used to pop over just to make sure nothing was frozen or anything. They hadn't had any leaks or anything. They'd just pop over to see if it was okay. But you can't live on them all year round. If you wonder what I'm going to nibble, it's Marks and Spencer's butter biscuit. Butter biscuit. And they're lovely. Yeah, I know a lot of people who live in a static, but if I had one, I would have to move into, like a cabin. They're more like a chalet. I think you can live in one of those all year round. Yeah, they're not cheap. A friend of ours has got one. They're not cheap. And then you have to have a car because they're not anywhere near shops. They're usually in the middle of no place, aren't they? I mean, Mum and Dad used to have a caravan and they used to close it. I think it was from October to March or something. And the people who lived on it all year round used to have to move out in the winter and go and rent a flat somewhere because they weren't allowed to stay, over the winter months. Which is a bit tight, really, when you've paid a lot for a caravan. They're all right as a summer home. I always used to think if I'd have had any money, I would have bought one just to use it for family, to rent it out for family to go and have holidays there. I wouldn't let it out to strangers, but just family. I mean, Mum used to be at her own caravan nearly every week. But she did used to let close family, go and stay. Yeah, some you can live all year round, but it's still expensive, isn't it? I mean, there's no such thing as cheap. You can imagine being in a caravan or a chalet and it's really bad weather or it's snowing or something. Oh, no. I mean, it's like those tiny houses. You'd have to be in America, wouldn't you, or somewhere warm. Where would you put a tiny house in the UK? They'd be after you, wouldn't they, to shift it? Those little tiny houses. I mean, Shad lives in one, doesn't he? I mean, it'd be all right if you lived in somewhere hot, wouldn't it, where it's hot 90% of the time. But can you imagine living in Alaska in a tiny house, a wooden thing, freezing in the winter? Yeah, but once again, Nathan, they're always where you would need a car. I mean, you watch these, these YouTube programs, and it all looks idyllic, doesn't it? But they're miles away, and half of them they have to go and find a laundrette because they haven't got a washing machine. There's no room in a tiny house for a washing machine. Half of them nowhere to dry the clothes and stuff, nowhere to store them anyway. They've got tiny little wardrobes, and they say, "Oh, I've got plenty of storage," and they've got like 3 pairs of jeans, haven't they, and about 6 t-shirts. Oh, plenty of storage, yeah. They don't go that fast if it's a narrow boat. I'd like a holiday, Mum. If somebody else was doing the locks and somebody else was doing the navigation, and I just had to sit there doing my crocheting, like Lady Muck on the back, yeah. I'll get Trev to navigate me down the river. He's in no danger of me visiting him anyway because I've got no car, so I can't even go and haunt Trev. My only hope is when my niece moves, near the canal, make friends with somebody who has one. Who has a narrow boat, make friends with somebody. Maybe they might take me a little jaunt down the canal and back here. Trevor lives on his all through the summer, I think. But I think he lives with his sister in the winter. I haven't, but I can imagine, Nathan. I mean, I've not been on the, what's it called, the Norfolk Broads. It was before I was even married, I went on the Norfolk Broads, and that was quite pricey. Compared with a caravan holiday, it was quite pricey on way back then. So I dread to think how much it costs now. Yeah, the yarn boat. It was at where was she? Can't think. If you watch a video, there's a lady I watched called the Narrowboat Pirate, and she met up with a lady who sells wool from her narrowboat. She sells wool and scarves and all sorts of things. Yeah, she's not on YouTube, but she is on Facebook. I think it's called the wool boat or the yarn. No, it's called the wool boat. I think. Don't think it's called the yarn boat. I think it's called the wool boat. I mean, there's not that much room. I don't know how she's got room for, like to keep a stock of wool as well as living on it. Can't be an awful lot of room. In there. It sounds an idyllic kind of lifestyle, doesn't it? Crocheting away while you float down the river. I'd need a minion, one that does the locks and empties the loo out and fills up the water while I just sat and crocheted. Like Lady Muck on the end, yeah. Oh, we have a few, not rapids, but there's a few places where at the side of the lock, yeah. You're enabling me. Oh, you have to buy it for me, Chris. I mean, I used to follow, well, I still do to a certain extent, Star Lily Creations in America. And she drives all around the country, to these like folk festival places type of thing, selling a really outlandish, colourful waistcoats, jackets, shawls and things. She drives around all over America. She's like a snail with a, caravan on her back kind of thing. But it costs a fortune for these fairs. It's no wonder her crochet is really expensive, because it must cost her a fortune to... and some of these places, you have to send a deposit off to try and secure a place. And if you don't get the place, they don't refund you the deposit. You just lose that, which I thought was a bit unfair. And when you get there, you've got to put your tent up and everything like that. The crochet queen wave, yeah. I would be happy crocheting on commission. My friend sent me, Lizzie, she's not come on tonight. Lizzie sent me a link, and it's like places where you can crochet things for money, but they were all in America. I'd just like, somebody that, like a crafty type shop that would sell my stuff on commission. I'm too old and knackered, to run a shop myself. Even a craft fair. I can't get to the right craft fairs, the ones that are receptive for my kind of boho-y, colourful crochet. An ordinary craft fair around here, they just, they don't want anything. They just want things for £1, They don't want... they don't come armed with any money to buy a sweater or anything. I watch a lady and she crochets scrunchies for your hair with that velvet wool, and she sells them for $18. I think that's posted with the post. And she gets 4 of these scrunchies out of a ball of Juicy Couture, whatever that is. I don't know how much that costs a ball, but she gets 4 scrunchies out of that. I didn't make scrunchies out of the velvet wool, but I made scrunchies when I went to the craft fair, and I couldn't sell them at 2 for £1. People walk past this stall and they say, "Oh, that's beautiful, that's gorgeous, that's lovely," and all that, and then they just carry on walking. Most times I never even made my stall money back. Apparently you've got to have a stall in the right kind of place, a more sort of arty, acceptable, wealthier place. But I don't have a car, and I don't have anybody that would drive me places, so... a friend of mine, she used to do the festivals. She used to crochet hats and fancy little Bolleroy top things and stuff like that, and sell them at festivals. And because she was selling, or she was a vendor, she used to actually get in these festivals for free. You didn't pay, to park a caravan or anything. You didn't pay because you were a vendor. And she used to do a roaring trade, in hats. And she used to go one, it was called the Bearded Festival, and she used to crochet beards and things like that. People used to buy them. Then she used to do a crochet workshop in a yurt, yeah. People used to go in and learn how to crochet and stuff. But it's all, you've got to be younger, fit, able, transport, all that stuff. I'm too old for all that sort of stuff now. I would just like to crochet things that, to sell things I crochet. I've got a pile of baby cardigans now I've been making. Don't know what I'm going to do with them. They're just all in my bedroom, piled up. It's like cardigans for me. I've got so many. I don't want to make any more. And yet all I get is people who want, will you crochet me this? Will you do me that? I'll pay you for the wool. That's end of it. They don't want to give you anything for your time or a little bit extra because you've crocheted it for them. When you say, you know, like that jacket I made with the boho spirit, when I say, you know, it's £5 a ball and it took 6 balls for the jacket, and they're like, what? Didn't realise it was so dear. I said, well, you buy the wool then. You see if you can find anything this colourful, you know, that looks like this, cheaper. Because I can't. You know, well, don't they have it on the market? And I go, yeah, they have plain colours on the market. You know, if you want a white one, or you want a pink one, or a green one, yeah, go on the market. But if you want it multicoloured and jazzy like mine, then no, it's £5 a ball, you know. Anyway, it's well past the witching hour. I'm going to go and watch Paula now with her cat and her dog. See, look how much I've done crocheting and how much I didn't do doing the Tunisian. I think it's Janet 1, Tunisian none. Yeah. I mean, that is, and it's much firmer, better for a dishcloth than that. I think that Tunisian is going to get ripped back. I don't think it's a goer. I think it's a no-no, yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to go, and you must have all had your fingers crossed. Oh, I just couldn't hold, like you with that crochet hook, Nathan, I just couldn't get the right hand action, yeah. No, it was so slow, Nathan. I like to crochet. I'm quite a quick crocheter. So, yeah, so I think that's it, yeah. Yeah. Right, so everybody, thank you for your time, and you've all had your fingers crossed because I managed to stay on. So I'm hoping I managed to stay on while I watch Stitched by Mrs. D. If nobody knows who she is, we all watch her because she's she's a fascinating little lady. She really is. I really like watching her. So I shall go and watch her now. So have a good weekend. Well, what's left of it. Have a good Sunday. And I shall speak to you all very, very soon. Yeah, she's got twins that are 18, and then she's got another child about 13, I think. Yeah. Yeah, she keeps saying, what are you watching me for? I'm so boring. Oh, this is so boring. Turn me off. I just love her eye makeup. Mine smudges and goes everywhere, and hers is just absolutely perfect, isn't it? And her eye mascara and everything. I'd love to know what brand she uses, because it never... Accent, I don't know. I don't even know where she lives. No, I don't know where she lives, no. Yeah. She has got some kind of an accent, but where does she live? Anybody know? Don't know. Don't know. She doesn't say. She just says she's going into town, doesn't she? What, James? Yeah. He puts up with her, doesn't he? You know, you can see him roll his eyes sometimes. Oh. She just had her oven mended, but the cat bags were leaving this black fur everywhere. She said, I don't know what the workman must have thought. There's all this fur stuff all over the floor when he came. She said, I bet he thinks I'm really grubby. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now. So I'm so glad my computer stayed on. Yeah, with the jams he brought her. Yeah. I'm going to go now. So I'm going to see. I'm so glad the computer stayed on. Otherwise, it would have been a very boring Saturday night for me. Sat here watching nothing on the telly. Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe it stayed on, Nathan. After 7 times it went off this morning. 7 times. I'm glad you did a thumbs up. Maybe it's all the thumbs up that worked, you see. It was like a lucky charm, yeah. Right. Thank you, everybody. And I will see you all very, very soon. So bye for now. And thank you for my thumbs up. Bye now.